Oh, so today we're going to be doing a really interesting case study. So this case study is the Balloon Festival. Now my band actually played in this Balloon Festival, but here's the real story. I actually had to erase this because I couldn't believe it, but it's a 50x on Facebook spend. Now this $2,000 was the real spend in Facebook that generated $95,000 in actual ticket revenue over the course of 6 weeks. Now that run was really a short window of time that we had in order to perform the actual marketing. And then there were 3,000 downloads of an app we created for the event that was allowing people to find their way around the festival. That web app was super important because people had push notifications when there were challenges, which you'll hear in the case study that's coming up. We had a full articulated digital strategy here, which really won out, and we ended up with a total of about $116,000 in ticket sales. And that made the biggest difference in the world for people who had never actually used Facebook to really start to sell tickets for a festival. It had been used very lightly. So you're going to hear all about this very cool case study. So enjoy the folks on my team. You'll be listening to Chase, James, and Anthony, and they're going to talk about the festival. And enjoy your case study for a 50x on spend.
Customer Bloom, trying out a new video case study format. I've got Anthony and from our team here, and I'm going to invite them up. We're going to talk about the Balloon Festival of New Jersey that recently happened. A client of ours, we were brought in sort of late into the game with some high stakes goals that we were thrilled to work on and to hit. So James, let me bring you up here on screen. And there he is. James, king of the social media.
Hola.
Talk to me a little bit about the challenge that we faced. Balloon Festival is a big event. We got brought in, I think, 6 weeks before it started.
Approximately, yeah, six weeks.
A year before they had rain, I think, which sort of killed their turnout. So this was like a big high stakes year for them.
Yes.
And so we knew right away, I think the first thing that we all thought about was Facebook. And why don't you tell us a little bit about the strategy that we implemented?
Well, what we did was basically started with pixeling their properties so we can optimize their website, for conversions. They weren't very savvy on how they ran traffic through their site. Good way of putting it.
It was a challenge just getting the pixel installed. We had to work with another company. And
we started with 6 weeks, and that took up a week. So really, let's say about 5 weeks, we really had to push this effectively. Mm-hmm. So once everything was pixeled up, I created conversion ad campaigns on Facebook. We basically broke it out by the events they were having, the balloon lifts, and different performers, and they're known for their music act. So there were a bunch of music acts and some events. Kind of did an ad campaign for each one. Set up the pixel on there so we could track it for conversion. Those were the first 4.5 weeks. And
so
then
not only did we pixel their site, but we also pixeled Ticketfly, right, which is the system they were using to actually purchase tickets.
That's correct. So they put in the checkout pixel so we could track the amount of money that we were helping drive through their ticket system. And besides the individual conversion campaigns, the last 2 weeks we pumped basically, there was a $7,500 budget in total. Mm-hmm. We took about right under $2,000 and put it into like the last 10 days of retargeting, because that is traditionally when they do most of their of their ticket sales, especially because of the weather. So people just kind of hold tight and wait and see, and the weather turned out right. So yeah, so that was it. So it was the first 80, 90, 85% of the campaign was just doing conversions, which we got a ton, but they did their best action. Their best success came with the retargeting those last 10 days. Can I do it?
Yep. Show us the results.
So yeah, so this is basically what happened. Hold on one second. Let me get in here. So this is the retargeting campaign right here. These were all the different artists: Pat Benatar, Plain White Tees. And
so hang on, you got to click your screen share button.
Oh, got to click my screen share button. Where is it? There
so hover over yourself, and then you should see an icon.
There it is. Got it. Oh, there it is. Now we got it. Beautiful. You see it now?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So right here, you'll see all the difference. Pat Benatar was one of the performers. Plain White Tees. They target like balloon enthusiasts. They have a marathon. So like I said, it was broken down into artists and events. And you can see here impressions, reach, links. But most importantly was the conversions, what each campaign brought in. Scroll down here. Pat Benatar, she was a big act. George Thorogood. So those are the all individual conversions. But here is the retargeting campaign. As you can see, we spent right under $2,000. That drove over $95,000 of their total $106,000 in sales from Facebook. So I mean, it was everything.
So say that again. So we took $2,000.
We took $2,000 of they had a $7,500 budget in total. Okay, we spent $5,500 of it on these individual campaigns. The cost per click was a little bit higher on these. The conversion was a little bit higher, but it is what it is. That's what we did the first 4.5 weeks. The last 10 days or 2 weeks out from the event, we took $2,000 of that $7,500 and put it into the retargeting campaign. So basically, once we got the pixel installed, we were building up an audience of people that had visited the site. And the last 10 to 14 days, we launched a campaign targeted directly at that audience. Took, like I said, under $2,000 of their total $7,500 budget and drove over $95,000 of their ticket sales from Facebook just on that retargeting campaign.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, it really worked out well. Like you said, it was something that, it was like kind of spur of the moment. Go in, set it up, get it going, move on, and it worked because we're awesome, and that's what we do.
That's right. All right, I'm going to bring up Anthony because I want him to talk about the second phase of the project that we implemented, which was to create them a mobile app. So we really wanted to optimize the experience of the festival as well. Once people had their ticket, enable the client to communicate better with the people once they were there, direct people around the grounds to the shows and the things that they wanted them to see. So let me get Anthony up here. All right. Anthony should pop up in a second.
Nice. How's it going?
Anthony, pretty good. You?
Good.
All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the app that we created? What did it do? Like, what were the capabilities inside of the app? And then tell us about the results.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I guess to start, like the biggest, like to go back to the challenges that we kind of face is really like the hesitation from them to even get a mobile app, kind of like the value proposition of having one. And the big functionality in the app is one, to get, buy tickets right from the app, festival info, concerts, stuff like that. Had like a parking finder too. So when you, park at the festival, you can drop that down.
Yeah, that was really cool. It drops a pin so you can walk yourself back to your car so you don't get lost, right?
But then as you alluded to, like the last festival, they had some issues with weather, and that kind of, obviously it's a hot air balloon festival. So the winds are taken to account for, some of the events and, attractions. So we were able to have them send push notifications to everybody that downloaded the app to give them updates on, when things were going to be scheduled to happen, anything like that. And they use that through the app, which is great. And in the end, we got 3,000 downloads across iOS and Android. the average time spent within the app was around 2 minutes, which is pretty good for an app that has that kind of functionality.
Yeah.
And it was big success, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think one important point is that most people that download an app don't delete it, and so they're going to have the app for next year, so they can be marketing to those people all year long through push notifications, which is arguably like the greatest way you could advertise to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost impossible to avoid a push notification that pops up on your phone. So we already have a leg up for next year's event as compared to this year's event. Can you do a quick screen share and show us what the app looked like?
Yes, let me get that.
While he's loading that up, just a pitch to anyone out there watching who might be having a festival that they're looking for some help on. We're going to do another festival, Rock Ribs and Ridges, next year. So this festival event marketing is sort of a niche that we are branching out into, and we're definitely looking for a couple more music festivals, something like that, to take what we learned here, the success that we had, and apply to new festivals that are going on in the future.
Okay, so this was the app within the Apple Store. So you can see some screen grabs. I'm not able to get an emulator of how the app functions within there, but you can see it was on right here. They advertised it for both. Yeah, for Play Store.
Google Play, Apple, both app stores, which is huge.
Yep. And then the big thing was when somebody got tickets, in the receipt that emailed to them, there was a link to download the app as well to kind of keep everything connected.
That's right. Yeah, cross promotion. So once we drew up the ticket sales, we were also driving app downloads. And how many people ended up downloading the app?
So in total, we had 3,000.
Nice.
So pretty successful.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for joining me, James. Thanks for joining me, Anthony. And again, if you need help with any sort of event marketing, give us a shout over at Customer in Bloom. As you can see, we had fantastic success with this, and we got brought in pretty late into the game. So if we had more of a heads up, we could have produced even more success, and we look forward to doing just that next year. So thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you on the next video case study.